What's up, you guys? It's your girl YBM, Young Bella Marcella, and I'm back with another so delicious video. Today, I'm getting in the kitchen, getting straight to the point. We're doing a seafood pasta and a white wine garlic butter cream sauce. Y'all ready? Let's go. I'm back, you guys. We are doing a seafood pasta today, and I'm so excited to share this delicious recipe with you guys. So we're going to start with a little Parmesan cheese, heavy cream, one large white onion, some butter, linguine pasta. You can use fettuccine pasta or switch the pasta to whichever you like. One bunch of green onions, some mushrooms, white wine, your choice, your choice. I prefer a Sauvignon Blanc, a Pinot Grigio, but today I'm using Chenin Blanc. And I have some scallops, some shrimp, some mussels, and some lobster tails. Now, if I don't use the lobster tails, then I'll normally use the crawfish out of the shell. So I use either one. You can use both. You can use any seafood that you like for your seafood pasta. I'm also going to use a little bit of clam juice, garlic powder, onion powder, and some Old Bay seasoning. And about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You don't see me with the cornstarch in this video, but I'm just letting you know so you won't skip out on this. You'll see my lobster tails right here, getting them ready to go under the broiler. And while they're under the broiler, I'm going to go ahead and start sauteing my chopped white large onions in 1 tablespoon of oil, canola oil, and 2 tablespoons of butter. Saute that right up. Then we just want it to sweat a little bit. It's not going to get like a brown color or anything like that. And also, while we have those sauteing, we're going to go ahead and put our linguine in some boiling water. I put about 2 tablespoons of oil so my pasta won't stick together. And then I sprinkle about 1 tablespoon of salt for flavor. Some people don't like to use the oil, but I do. Now, in this process, I've added the cornstarch. So you want to add that. So you're kind of basically making a roux, but you're not going to worry about color. You're just going to use the roux to thicken the cream sauce up. And right now we're going to add about that 1 cup of Chenin Blanc or your white wine of your choice. Go ahead and add that and just stir it in there. And for you all that don't know, that don't drink alcohol, it will cook out. So you don't have to worry about feeling a little buzz or feeling drunk. It's for flavor. After you cook that in there for about 1 minute, you're going to go ahead and pour about 2 cups of heavy cream into this dish on top of the white wine, onions, butter, garlic. Stir that in, and then you're going to add about 1 cup of water. And it looks kind of milky. That's because I used the same container and added water in it so I can get the rest of that cream out. So you can do the same. I don't like to waste anything. Stir that up, and you're going to let that simmer a little bit. Let's check on our pasta. Now, we want to cook our pasta till it's al dente. We don't want to overcook it. But let that boil. And then we're going to start adding our seasoning into our seafood sauce. So we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of Old Bay, about 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and we're going to stir that up. So once you add your seasoning, you're going to stir it up, but you're going to also taste it. So if you want to add a little bit more, you can, and add about 2 ounces of that clam juice. Stir it up and let it simmer. You're not really going to let it come up to a full boil yet, just going to let it simmer and taste as you go. Then I'm going to add in those green onions. And that is for flavor and color. But remember, I said I like a lot of onions and garlic in my dishes. So here we go. Now I tasted it and I felt like it needed a little bit more seasoning. So I added in another tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning and I add in a stick of butter. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. And then I'm going to taste it again. And while it's simmering, I'm just going to go ahead and go over here and start seasoning my seafood. In this, I have shrimp, scallop, and my mussels, which I already pre-washed. Well, I rinsed off. And then I'm going to get my skillet out and put about 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to go ahead and saute these mushrooms right on up. I'm going to let it sweat a little bit. So it's not going to be completely done because I'm going to continue to cook it in this dish as I'm cooking the seafood. But I wanted to get it a jump start because if you know anything about seafood, it cooks really fast. So let's check on our lobster tails, and we have that in the broiler. And those are cooking up nicely. I washed them and I seasoned them and put them in the broiler for about 15 minutes. Our pasta is looking good. Our seafood is looking good. I'm going to stir that up. It smells wonderful in this kitchen, you guys. Wonderful. I'm so happy to share this dish with you guys. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Just cooking up, just sitting. I can eat this all day long by itself. And those juices at the bottom, we're going to use that. So once you get done sauteing this up, and once your shrimp turns opaque and your muzzle starts opening, you want to cut it off and add that juice to your seafood sauce. Now, if you have any mussels that didn't open up, you want to discard those. Those aren't good. And in the beginning, once you rinsed your seafood, if you had any mussels that were already open, you wanted to throw those out. They need to be fully closed. So once it hits that steam and starts cooking, that's when they should open up. So again, if any that didn't open up after you steamed it, throw it out. Okay? We're going to leave that seafood alone, and we're going to go back to our sauce. It's looking wonderful, and we're going to start adding the Parmesan cheese. Now we're going to add about 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, and this Parmesan cheese is not only going to add flavor, but it's going to add a nice thickness to it. And again, taste as you go. So I want just a little hint of spice. This is not going to be a spicy dish at all, but I added my crushed red pepper flakes. It tastes wonderful. And I'm slowly adding in that Parmesan cheese. I don't want to add it in all together because I don't want it to be chunked up. So I just do a little bit at a time and stir as I go. And you'll see as I keep going, it's going to be on a low simmer. But you'll start seeing that this sauce is going to start thickening up. So I added just a little bit of color to it. But it's going to add a whole lot of flavor. So just keep stirring. You see it simmering. And you see how it's getting thicker on the spoon. That's how you want it. And at this point, if it's not thick enough for you, add just a little bit more cornstarch or add some more Parmesan cheese. But again, I recommend that you taste as you go. So therefore, you won't overdo it. You always can add, but you can't take away. And when you get done, this dish is going to be so delicious. Isn't it beautiful, you guys? There you have it, a restaurant-style quality dish made in your home. Our seafood pasta made with the white wine, butter garlic cream sauce, in under 40 minutes. I'm so glad you guys tuned in today. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when other videos are uploaded. It's YBM, your girl, Young Bella Marcella. I'm out.